As always, this video is sponsored by our good friends at Famous Faces and Funnies, located in Melbourne, Florida. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, our good friends at Docking Bay 94, located in Boca Raton, Florida. Check us out on gamesandcomics.com. Okay, I usually wait to do comic recaps, but I've been flooded with requests for this new series. Now, I already previewed the first few pages up to Duke's capture. Now, this series comes with so much anticipation. I'm both delighted and shocked because other G.I. Joe comics have come and gone with little fanfare, and some of it is deserving because they sucked. But in this case, the jury's still out. So far, a lot of people have shown their displeasure, while some like it, which is typical. The Audrey Sitterson series came and went, canceled because Sitterson was a nutcase. And look at the JoeFan82 about that series, because he was spot on. The Sierra Morte ended abruptly because Michelle Fief and IDW got into an argument. And there has been series prior to Hammer resuming A Real American Hero. I've had the pleasure of speaking with a lot of you, and I encourage more comments. But as a general rule, to me, only Hammer's A Real American Hero is canon. All of these others should be taken with a grain of salt. Like every comic recap, we look at the different cover variants. Now, this particular series is written by Paul Allor, and the artist is Chris Evenhunis. So it's different from what we're used to at A Real American Hero. And, I talked about this when we did Sierra Morte's covers, that the art is a little bit different, but, give it a try and see if it holds up. As I stated when I previewed this series, it is not similar to the Sunbow episode World Without Ends, but more of a hybrid of What If Germany Won World War II and the Matrix movie series. At least that's my impression. Cobra is at war with the US and its allies. G.I. Joe is more of an underground guerrilla group serving as resistance fighters. You will see it's not a full special forces elite group. There are civilians. So when we left off, Duke was running from the Cobra Vipers, and we see him tossing a flash drive in the trash. The main focal point is this young man who finds that flash drive and pockets it. The next thing we see Duke being captured by the Vipers and being interrogated by Major Blood. I was totally shocked to see that Duke being executed immediately by Major Blood. I mean, if anything, that's pretty damn ballsy to do that right off the bat and get rid of a huge major character such as Duke. Now, if everybody knows, I'm not a pro-Duke fan, so I wasn't really overcome with too much of emotion when this happened. The main focal point is a new character named Rithy K, who will go by the super cool codename of Tiger. Man, what did he do to deserve that? Anyway, he hails from my childhood home, which is the fighting city of Philadelphia. Go Birds! To his horror, Tiger witnesses Duke being executed. He quickly jumps on his moped and heads home to uncover the contents on the flash drive. As he's reviewing it, he has an unexpected guess, and yep, that is none other than our beloved Scarlet, who pops into the window. He questions him on what he's doing and why he's, looking into this matter, and how he should just disregard it, give her the floppy drive, and just continue living on with his existence. But he protests this and says that his lover fell victim. He's homosexual, and he says that besides his lover, his parents were a victim to Cobra. He wants to be a part of this resistance, and Scarlet's like, just go back to your little world. Tiger was able to learn that the Joe's next target was a Cobra monitoring facility in the city. I'm assuming they are in Philadelphia. Later on, we see Roadblock and another new character named Frontier. Frontier hails from Mardan, Pakistan. I guess he's supposed to be the brown Flint? I mean, he looks exactly like the card art on the Flint action figure. Take a look for yourself, guys. The Joe team begin carrying out their plan of infiltration when all of a sudden Tiger comes roaring in, can you say that on a moped? I don't know. And tosses a bottle bomb and breaks the front glass. He immediately regrets this decision when armed Cobra troopers come running towards him. Out of nowhere, Roadblock comes in for the save. And you could see Roadblock struggling with the Cobra troopers. And this is what's kind of interesting, is that he seems to be, we have this image of Roadblock being this, hardened, tough guy, military. But he's like, oh my God, I killed somebody. And the shock to him is, what version of Roadblock is this? It just seems like Roadblock is a civilian in this story and not the Roadblock that we all know and love. At this point, these Joes have no idea who or how Tiger showed up exactly when this secret mission was being carried out. But I'm a little taken back with this version of Roadblock. But, you have to keep reminding yourselves that this is not a real American hero comic series. This is someone else's vision using G.I. Joe figures to tell a different kind of story. And, I said that when we covered Sierra Morte and, Scarlet Strike Force. As ridiculous as they may be, you have to approach this with a grain of salt. And also, at least it's not Ryan Johnson or Kevin Smith screwing. It can't be that bad, been letting those two goons mess up G.I. Joe. But, you just got to take this with a grain of salt. So the Joes all gather around, discuss, what to do with this kid, how, and they decided that, they need to take him back to G.I. Joe headquarters. I don't think it's called the Pit at this point. We have no idea. And so Roadblock decides to, boom, knock him out. And he goes nighty-night. I will say that the funny part before Roadblock knocks him out is how he's like, yeah, we're a team. Let's go get him. And has all this gusto. And, that's the closest thing to the old school Roadblock, is he wasn't having any of that and just clocked him. So anyway, he wakes up in G.I. Joe headquarters blindfolded, and he hears a familiar voice, and that is the voice of Scarlet. And we see something of the old G.I. Joe, and that's Scarlet talking to Stalker. So yes, Stalker is in this storyline as well. So they begin questioning him and what is his motives? Why do you want to be involved so badly? And, Scarlet's already gotten, why he wants to be and avenge his lover and his parents. And, Scarlet, they kind of discourage him, but they're actually testing him because, again, this is not a special military unit that we have come to know. This is some of it is military, but they're also a collection of civilians like we saw with Roadblock and some other personnel that they have on board. So it's kind of like a smorgasbord of individuals that make up this quote-unquote G.I. Joe unit. I just don't know how to feel about this. It is interesting and it's fiction, and you just have to go along. I've just been seeing a lot of people pissed off and a lot of people excited about it. So, to each his own. So now General Hawk enters the picture, and he is the overall commander. So now we've seen Hawk with blonde hair, brown hair. Now he has white hair. So Hawk, he's always changing hair colors, and now he's white-haired Hawk. Anyway, so he's kind of like, I guess, the liaison between the United States government and this underground unit. And we see him like, oh, we got a new recruit. But then he tells everybody that they actually surrendered to Cobra. So United States of America has lost to Cobra in this world. And the G.I. Joe team looks on in shock and disbelief. And then they tell the kid, oh, by the way, welcome to G.I. Joe. So that's issue number 1 so far. I would love to hear the comments. I've been reading what people have been putting on Facebook. So I hope, people could chime in and let me know what you think, how you feel about this. And it'd just be interesting to see going forward. The real thing is, what I've noticed in IDW, the fall is between issues 2 and 3. Everyone jumps in excited about issue 1. But between 2 and 3 is deciding if this thing's going to stick or if it's going to fall apart. So that's the 2 months from now, I'm interested to see if this will continue on. So anyway, this is Shibu Are You signing off.